Okay, the possibilities are endless on this show, don't you think?
Possibilities for what?
For
What
where
could be on the
show's-
list?
For where the show's going to go. It's
Well,
crazy.
the possibilities are 10, really. But.
Yeah, okay. Dave, thanks for spoiling my dreams.
No problem.
The
So here
wet
we go.
blanket on the show.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
exactly. You guys always like it. You always make me look bad. So here they are, the little topics we're going to address today. But we
Could
have
be
in our
more.
hands the number ones that we think we're going to talk about today, and mine is going to win. But
Did you volunteer to go first?
No, I'm not. Lori's going first.
I went first last week.
Did you?
I
Okay,
did.
Mason, you go first then. You lead us off.
I'll lead us off. At number 1, Heart Girls Soccer.
Ooh. Okay.
The Indians
Change that
yesterday,
up on
home
me.
game against Valencia. First place in Foothill League at the halfway point was on the line. 0-0 till late. Sarah Lindborg scores 2 late goals, 67th and 71st minutes. Hart wins 2-0. They're up a point in the Foothill League, and now they're up to number 1
Are you
in their
buying this?
standings.
Are you buying this? I mean, Hart was already like the best team. This is not
Well,
surprising.
they weren't in first place before yesterday.
Basically, though.
They weren't, though.
Defending champs.
2-time defending champs.
Here's the soccer team that deserves to be up here. I'll tell you this. Vikings. Get it? And then in parentheses it says, for now they're the Kings. Because they're number 1.
So you softened your argument.
No.
Yeah.
They beat Hart for the first time in 6
They're the
years.
interim kings.
They hadn't
They're
beaten Hart.
warming the throne for
No,
someone
you're not
else to
listening to
sweep
me.
in.
6 years. They ended a 6-year losing streak. Well, they hadn't beaten Hart in 6 years. They tied with
a
them
long
a bunch
time.
of times. And they are,
But what you're saying with
League
the
leaders.
4 now is that maybe Hart's going to come back and beat him in the last game of the season.
well, it's the same thing for Hart Girls Soccer. We're just saying.
But I didn't say
I'm not
4
gonna,
now. Maybe it's
I'm
the
not going to
number
crown
1.
them yet. I'm not crowning them yet, but I kind of am because I'm calling them Kings. I
You-
feel like mine was more creative.
Just wanted to be more punny.
All right. Here's the actual real number 1. Is Hart Boys Hoops.
In parentheses, 5-0.
Right. If 5-0 in league.
For now. They're 5-0
Right.
for now.
But
Raiders for now.
But here's the thing: they had convincing wins this past week. And the thing is that they can beat you from anywhere, really. So I mean, they have this guy over here, Chad,
Donahoe.
right? But I mean, they have a lot of weapons where they can beat you at. So I'm going with the Hart Boys Hoops.
But it's okay. Hey, Hart Girls Soccer doesn't have any weapons to beat anyone with, apparently, so they shouldn't be number 1, I guess is what Lori's saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess so.
Well,
we
then
agree
you're
that
out.
Your
I was
argument
being
is not number
sarcastic.
1.
I think
Okay.
Hart Girls Soccer.
Okay. All right,
It's
we'll
as simple
figure
as
that out. We'll get to all these right after this.
Trinity Classical Academy, pursuing God, seeking excellence. Visit trinityclassicalacademy.com.
All right, Mason. We all know what everybody wants to talk about. They want to talk about the incident at the West Ranch
West
Golden Valley
Ranch
game.
boys basketball game.
You were at that game. And the truth is we're not going to talk about it that much because that's a whole separate thing. But we had student sections on the show last week. That was your idea, Lori.
Yeah.
This is all on you. No, I'm just kidding.
So we're going to take them off for this week because we want the student sections to just kind of mellow out a little. Just all we ask the student sections, just you can hassle the other players and stuff. Don't be offensive, right? Don't be offensive, people. Come on.
So I think in place of it, we'll go a different direction.
Okay.
Go
I
with
like where you're going with this.
Dean Harrington, I say former now, Alamany head football coach, was let go this week. Kind of a big story. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator at Hart, I believe 1989 to 2000, won 11 Foothill League titles, 4 CIF titles as the O coordinator for the Indians. Very highly thought of, and so now kind of has an opportunity to go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
I think that could find
a
a spot. Well, yeah, 7 league titles at Alamany, so definitely a guy accomplished for the Warriors as well. What about 5?
I'm definitely thinking top 5. So yeah, we'll keep that there for now. Yeah, that works, right? I mean, okay. I'm gonna go to Viking girls hoops. I'm just gonna grab this randomly. They're still undefeated in the league, right?
Yes, they
Okay,
are.
so they're still pretty good.
Somebody had a big game last night for them.
Kayla Conrad had 30 points against Hart to kind of put them over on that 5-0 mark to end Foothill League season.
I mean,
7.
they're not gonna fall off this list, but they're just holding serve at this point.
I think, a team does so well, they almost lull you into kind of this sense of, well, yeah, it's just kind of what we expect, even though, they continue to dominate in the Foothill League.
They're a good squad. Good squad.
Anybody, Lori?
Grab one.
Anyone?
I'm gonna go with Salam. Canyon center, 6'9", obviously. I mean,
Tall. It's a tall
He's
guy.
tall. He's really tall.
I mean, honestly, I think he helped Canyon get their second Foothill League win on Tuesday night. So I don't know. I mean,
You were thinking top 5.
I was thinking top 5, but I think he definitely should be high up on this list.
He had what, 22
points against August.
And that's big. I mean, that second Foothill League win, you got 3 league teams now at 2 and 3, West Ranch, Valencia, and Canyon. So obviously kind of that tight race for those, automatic playoff bids. Salam, a big part of that for the Cowboys.
One of the better players in the league too. I'll tell you who is also one of the better players in the league. He was our number 1 last week, remember?
Sure.
Chibuzo.
It's hard to completely fall off the list after number 1. Not that it hasn't happened before.
It is. And Valencia is kind of right in that. They're one of those teams tied for is it third place?
Third place.
We'll keep him on there. Chibuzo is looking. He's a difference maker for Valencia.
Yeah, 17 points in the win. They lost to Hart. 17 points still. 2 alley-oop dunks.
He's kind of helped them get right back in the race a little bit. So.
And speaking of those 2 and 3 teams, you got Kevin McQuillan. We've had Austin Galupo on this list, and Austin had a solid game last night, 14 points. But Kevin was really the spark in West Ranch's win over Golden Valley. 16 points in the second half. They were down at halftime, so really a big part of that, Kevin McQuillan. 10.
Oh, we're going to 10. Hey, but he's on the list.
He is on the list.
He makes it. Big game by him. CIF vote. This is kind of a complicated topic, don't you think? I mean,
but you're so good at breaking those things down. I'm sure you can give us a brief synopsis.
Right away, it's going to be number 9. So the playoff divisions are different. That's the gist of it. The vote went down on Wednesday. They voted yes on Wednesday to realign all the divisions. So everybody's going to be in. This basically helps kind of those lesser, lower tier teams to get into the playoffs more easily. We'll have more on that later, though. But that's a significant vote. Needs to be on here.
We still haven't decided the number 1, but we've got one other name off the list. Obviously, we mentioned him a little bit already, Chad
Lori's
Donahoe.
a fan of Chad Donahoe.
She is a
am,
fan.
indeed.
14 points in the second quarter last night in the win over Valencia. His name keeps coming up, I think, kind of as their leader offensively. What about number 4? Is that too high? I feel like almost, because if Hart Boys goes to 3, it seems a little redundant. I feel like Chad maybe. What about?
But if Hart Boys are
Harrington
number
and
1,
Donahoe?
then it'll be fine.
That was an assumption. You're
If
right.
if we had to name a Foothill League Player of the Year right now, I mean, would it be Chad Donahoe? I think
He's in the conversation. I mean, I think of
he's
the
definitely
names
one
here,
of the guys.
Donahoe, Mawugbe, Austin Galupo probably in that conversation. Chibuzo missed a couple league games, I believe, but still definitely in that conversation. Has changed the way Valencia is looked at.
do we need any shifting around on this though?
I feel like CIF vote is higher. I mean, I think that radically changes. I mean, think about it. When the Foothill League went to the West Valley Division for football, I mean, that just changed kind of the outlook of how those teams were going to do.
And the Foothill League, by the way, officially voted yes on this. So the Foothill League coaches are in favor of this vote.
So I think 7.
Move it up to 7.
But Vikings girls hoops, that seems a little low at 9.
I think that's extremely low. I mean,
Okay. Well, what is it? It's got to replace someone up here. So.
I think if you're gonna go like players, right, and teams, I think maybe all of this shifts.
Oh, okay. Wow. See, this is why the new set's good. We can shift these things
But-
around.
Chibuzo, I believe, had a better game against Salam.
One-on-one.
One-on-one,
He did have 2 less points, but
this-
I heard from someone at the game that Chibuzo clearly had the better game. So should he be at 9 then?
But he had the better game on Tuesday.
That's fine. I think we leave it. I think we got to decide here on 1, 2, 3.
I think we do too. And I think what you got to do is, I don't know. What are we thinking here? What's the final vote?
I think Hart Boys Hoops.
Wait, it's Dan's choice to decide here.
Well, I'm just throwing it.
I mean, the
We've
Vikings,
already put our-
man, I think I presented my argument in the most creative way because I said Vikings. And you
For
realize
now.
Hart girls soccer. Like, come on. For now, yeah.
That's like me saying I have better writing than you guys, so mine should be on the top.
I think because for now, because I wrote that in such a cool way. Yeah, there you go. Here's my argument on this. Defending champs, not defending champs. So they're the surprising number one.
Okay, I'll take that.
There it is. That's final. That's my final answer.